So before we get into this excellent display of Tampon Tim showing you why he should not have any form of power over our lives and financial futures, I wanted to show you some of these comments where, let's just examine the TDS, really. So prepare yourselves. How can you not love this man? He's so sweet. Even when you don't know him, you feel close to him. How wonderful for those that know him. How you have a driver's license amazes me. And then somebody else said, what's not to like about Harris Waltz? They bring hope, optimism, and class. Funny. I thought they bring darkness, death, and destruction. Must be antonym day. Somebody else says, Tim Waltz is extremely fluent in speaking. Now, come on, Bernard. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you say that? Tim Waltz says he's made friends with school shooters, and you go on to say Tim Waltz is extremely fluent in speaking. All right. Last one. Waltz is such a sincere, compassionate, honorable man, which is a stark contrast when compared to slippery, untrustworthy Vance and his constant bigoted bluster. Grr. Wow, that's diabolical. Somebody else said there was a comment that I saw that was the last one, but there was a comment that I saw that was absolutely wild. They said Tim Waltz is the kind of guy I would love to have as my neighbor. I was like, what the freak is what? This is a guy that you keep far away from your kids, far away. Anyways, Tim Waltz is out here with these Dumbocrats, okay, and on the spew out here sabotaging and poisoning your neighbors. So that's that. Let's get right into this video. Welcome to the King Squad. This is Best Reaction Channel on YouTube. Hope each and every single one of you guys are having a great and awesome day. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to the King Squad family. Well, the King Squad family, the King Squad elites. Let's go.
This summer, when you know who called and I can't even say this man's name, Vice President J.D. Vance, weird. You called them weird, and you weren't, there was no lie in anything you said. So you're a candidate now for vice president. Can you put into words for us what the last couple of months have been like for you?
Yeah. Well, it started, remember, I missed the first call. I thought it was one of those warranty calls for your car, so I didn't take it. Somebody called and said, pick it up, and just the privilege of being with Vice President Harris, and just traveling the country and getting to see Americans where they're at, getting to hear where they're at, waking up yesterday in Saginaw, Michigan, and going to a union hall. And then
getting to enjoy the destruction they've caused on the American people. Is that what you enjoyed seeing, Tim Waltz?
They're at, getting to hear where they're at, waking up yesterday in Saginaw, Michigan, and going to a union hall and then a church to see people. It has been something. And when this started, that whole thing, I think as a school teacher, very careful about not bullying and things. I was making an observation about these guys' behavior. You know, why are you focusing on other people's family? Why are you focusing on reproductive rights? Why is it this constant tearing people down? And I said, that's just not normal behavior for folks. And I was pointing that out. But look, over these 2 months, just to see the
wait, normal behavior. What is normal about you turning kids into Decepticons? What is normal? There's nothing normal about you at all. I'm trying to just not interject too much.
Hopefulness and the optimism. Folks are ready to move on. They're tired of the division. They're tired of the chaos. I keep saying this, there's so many reasons that Kamala Harris will make a great president, but don't dismiss that sense of optimism and joy and a way forward. That means something to people and in all of our lives.
They're the busybody party. The busybody party.
Yeah.
Mind your own business.
Well, that's right. We were talking about mind your own damn business is a good way to live.
Exactly.
It keeps you out of a lot of trouble. It makes you a better neighbor. I certainly think it makes you a better legislator. If there's things that we shouldn't be involved in, we should probably stay out of. And that's the message we've been making. And it's
like other people's wars. Like, I mean, seriously, he's doing it to himself. Oh my gosh. Let's go. What do you guys think about this? Comment down below.
interesting across the political spectrum. I've been saying this. When did the party of Ronald Reagan think you should be making all of these individual decisions? When should they be in the bedroom, the exam room, the library? And
When
and
they
the
forgot
answer
what the party of Ronald Reagan actually stood for.
is, no, it's different.
Yeah.
These guys are different.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
People
Liz
aren't.
Cheney is going around reminding folks. But
bless
when
her.
you, since entering the race, you and Vice President Harris, as you just mentioned, have brought an infusion
said something.
of joy, and you've raised a whopping $1 billion in campaign donations. We've got 15 days to go. And this race, according to polls, is effectively tied. In fact, according to polls, Donald Trump is leading by double digits with men. Surely it can't be because he's talking about Arnold Palmer's package or frying fries at McDonald's.
I'll never be able to drink that again, Arnold Palmer.
Not to mention going to McDonald's. Would you like lies with that? But anyways, what do you think that it's?
Wow, she thought she ate. Would you like lies with that? A key, a ka. Wow, that's crazy. And like literally, shout out to the liberal hive mind, the abundant hypocrisy from the left. And then you guys have the audacity to sit here and say to Trump, would you like lies with that? Trump is out here feeding the people who are starving from the devastation and destruction the Democrats have caused. Come on, man.
Is going on with men.
Yeah, well.
And what do you tell them?
Well, as Vice President says, we have a responsibility.
Tim Walz is the best person to ask about anything male and men and masculinity related. This is their best attempt at masculinity and stuff like that. This is who they want your sons and nephews and husbands and brothers to be like. Tim Walz.
Responsibility to earn the votes from everyone and not make the assumption that men or women are going to be with us. I hear oftentimes about the black community. Why would we assume that they were with us unless we're putting out proposals that positively impact their life? And I think what you're seeing in these final days, it is going to be close, but this is where people are making up their mind. And it's very clear that, as you said, Donald Trump is spiraling down, unhinged. What worries me about these comments, some of these that are just so strange that they're hard to imagine. It's the dangerous ones in the middle of that, the enemy from within and some of that. But the flip side of that is the message that
Tim Walz, you are the enemy from within. Ku Klux Kamala, we call her that for a reason. What don't you get? Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? I think not.
it's starting to break through is this opportunity economy, a new way forward, talking about housing, talking about prices. And I'll make the case, being someone who's in this generation, that sandwich generation, my mom's nearly 90, my son turned 18 last week, putting proposals out on
your son or your daughter, son or son, daughter. I'm just trying to understand. You're what now? Or are they non-binary?
affordability of childcare, new paths forward to careers, internships, and then her proposal on Medicare in-home care. That is a game changer. My mom wants to stay in her home, and the ability that Medicare would pay for her care in-home is absolutely a game changer. And I think what men are hearing across that is these are things to strengthen their family, opportunities for them to start businesses. But what I'm just at rallies and stuff talking to them,
Not
for the
at
women
all.
in your lives that you love, to the men out here, their lives are literally at risk here because we've seen this. If some of these extreme
What?
proposals around reproductive care, and that resonates with them for their loved ones and for their neighbors, that the dangerous situation we've seen around the restrictions of reproductive care, and they're only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Now, Governor, voters are saying change is a critical issue this election, but our ABC poll shows only.
I'm gonna just shoot it. Just be a straight shot here. We're literally looking at, and it's not just men either, men and women, but then you have liberal women. So that's a whole other species, right? But men and women are looking at the economy. They're looking at their bank accounts. They're looking at their bills. They're looking at their kids. Okay, they're looking at their refrigerators, inside of their refrigerators. They're looking at how the price of gas. They're looking at how much gas they use to get to work, and if they can afford to do another full tank of gas. Okay, they're looking at all of that. They're looking at their check and thinking about their next check because this current check isn't enough this week. All right, that's what they're thinking. Okay, they're thinking about how they're going to feed their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. That's what they're thinking. All right, and when I say this, I'm going to just bring it back. I'm not talking about just men. I'm talking about men and women. Okay, families. I'm talking about them. All right, all of them. So we're looking at all of that and the damage that the Democrats have done in America. And then he's over here saying, women are at risk and in danger. I don't see them in danger. I see them having all the power they want in America. Okay, that's what I see. So much power that Kamala Harris is literally running for president. That's what I see. All right. So and then it's literally just, oh, she's black and deleting kids, delete kids, and she's black and delete kids, blackity black, delete kids, and she's black. That's it. That's everything. That's everything right there in a nutshell. Oh wait, they get rid of nuts. So yeah, never mind. Okay, but yeah, that's the whole Democrat campaign right there. And then turning boys into girls, girls into boys. I hope YouTube doesn't attack me for that. But yeah, it's nuts. Just because I liked watching Bumblebee and Transformers didn't mean I want to literally turn into Bumblebee. Okay, it's just what it is. Let's go.
Only a third of Americans believe a Harris-Walz ticket would bring that change. I want to pose a similar question to you that we asked Vice President Harris. Yeah. Can you point to a policy decision over the last 4 years that you and the Vice President would have handled differently from President Biden?
Well, I think this expansion on Medicare is something that I wished would have been proposed sooner. But look, they're tackling the issues that they needed to. They came out of a pandemic that Donald Trump had left a mess for, an economy with supply chains that were broken. But I think focusing on this care economy, the two things that the vice president proposed that I hear everywhere, especially in rural America, is this issue of affordability on child care and the ability of seniors to get health care, protecting that. So I think just in this last week, you saw a major rollout in protecting rural hospitals. This is a big issue. We have ambulance deserts in large parts of America, Minnesota included, where you can't do that. And I think she's really leaning into these issues that impact people personally, and then doubling down on whether it's housing or child tax credit. Those are pretty big differences. And I don't think that's a pejorative towards it. There were other issues that were being dealt with, and she's her own leader. She's got her own path, a new way forward. And I think she sees in Minnesota that we have similar values, whether it's providing kids with meals at school. You know, we're putting meals in our schools and trying to get guns out of them. That seems like a good thing, and that's what she's doing.
We'll get to guns later, but Donald Trump has talked about sending the National Guard after his political enemies. As you just said, the enemy within, we have to talk about. Now, you served in the National Guard. Can they really do that? Well, and how can we make people understand that Trump means what he says? If you listen to his supporters, they're like, well, he didn't say that. Then the guy will go, the interviewer will say, well, here it is, here's video, here's the quote. Well, he didn't mean it.
He does mean
How
it.
do you get through to these people?
Yeah, don't listen to us on this. Listen to people who are closest to him. Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said most dangerous man America's ever faced. His chief of staff, John Kelly, a four-star general, said he's the most flawed human being. I did serve for 24 years, and I'm proud that you get called up for state duty during flooding and hurricanes. And as governor, you use the National Guard for domestic missions called, Title 32 missions, or federal missions, Title 10, when they fall under the president. But we have something in this country starting out with posse comitatus in the Insurrection Act that doesn't allow for the use of troops against U.S. citizens. It's pretty foundational to our democracy that the person who's in charge can't use the military to suppress their political rivals. But I will say this, there was an attempt to weaken the Insurrection Act after Hurricane Katrina, and myself and Congressman Davis from Virginia worked to make sure we restored those protections. These are constitutional guardrails, and I think what we saw with Senator Vance's answer about the 2020 election is the guardrails are off with Donald Trump right now, and I think we know that. And I think for the Americans to recognize, well, we got through one Trump president, so we can get through another. Look, I'm an eternal optimist. I supervised the lunchroom for quite a few years, so I'm very optimistic. You're either optimistic or dead in the lunchroom. I'm an optimist, but our systems are strained.
No, Tim Waltz, you are trying to turn us into optimists.
And the ability to politicize the military has never been tried in this country. He's trying it. So I think it's a legitimate one. And I just tell Americans, if you're tired of that chaos, and I know that Donald Trump's handlers are saying he's exhausted. So are we. Americans are exhausted with the stuff that he does, the chaos.
He's not even the president. Like, you guys are literally in power. Yeah, I'm tired of the chaos that Donald Trump created. Wait. Can we bring logic back to the table? Please. Thank you. No, Tim Waltz. This is what you guys have created. And this is what will continue. by the policies you put in place?
I think this one is, don't risk it with this. This is dangerous talk. This is the talk of dictators, and I think Kamala Harris clearly understands that the separation and the separation of powers is the genius of this country, and the military is responsible to the Constitution and the American people, not the president.
Governor, I want to ask you, and thank you for being here. You've been asked before, but I want to ask this way about a number of misstatements you'd made about your previous military record and travels you'd been in. I want to be unequivocal. Nobody lies as much as Donald Trump. Nothing that you've misled on is anything.
What? Yo, she is literally talking out her neck. Like there's no thought put into anything she just spewed out of her mouth. I guess that's why they call it the spew. All right, they're just spewing out stuff. It's just a hate fest. Like they just get around the Jezebels, just sit at the table and just manifest darkness and spew out whatever the heck, and it gets aired, and that's just that. So, what did she just say?
Travels you'd been in. I want to be unequivocal. Nobody lies as much as Donald Trump. Nothing.
What do you guys even think about that? Like, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about that? What do you think about that? All that kind of stuff. Comment down below. She just said, this chick right here just said, nobody lies as much as Donald Trump. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to let you guys answer in the comments.
That you've misled on is anything on the same level. But in an era where there's so much mistruth in our politics, so many lies, can't there be no gray area? And how would you convey to voters they may be concerned that there's a trust issue?
Yeah, I do think you have to be careful about this. If it's stating, in Hong Kong in August of 89, 35 years ago, I think people do separate that between a pathological liar like Donald Trump. They get it out there. But I do think it's important that we're careful about how we speak. It's something for me is, I think, being a teacher, being a coach, I just speak from my heart. I speak honestly. I speak in the moment. And in preparing for a debate, I told my team that I felt like I'm at a disadvantage in a debate because my tendency is to just answer the question that you're asked as quickly as you can. Which seems
it's never what you do in a debate.
Never, that's right. They would say that. So yeah, I think so. But I think the public sees this, just the massive amount of misinformation that gets poured out there. It is important to be detailed.
Wow. That is horrendous. Absolutely disgusting. I'm going to pull, I have it over here too. So I'm going to pull this back up and take a look at what some of these people said. Okay. So shout out to them. Shout out to Paul A. Sizipula. I hope I pronounced that right. Tim Waltz went on The View today and lied, saying Kamala Harris worked at a McDonald's. McDonald's has released a statement saying there is no proof Kamala ever worked there. Kamala has not provided any evidence to support her claim either. So this is that. You can pause that and see that right there. While we in our franchises don't have records for all positions dating back to the early 80s, what makes 1 in 8 so powerful is the shared experience so many Americans have had. Right. So there's that. And then we have, shout out to Spitfire, Waltz, Trump working at McDonald's was disrespectful to the workers. How? No, Tim, what's disrespectful is offering $750 to Americans who have lost everything. They're turning around to give Ukraine billions more. I completely agree. Joy Behar. People are saying you look like a total moron fumbling with your gun during your peasant hunting photo op. Tim Waltz, I can shoot better than all of them. I guarantee that. Nobody believes that tampon. I don't have my glasses on. I believe that's peasant though. There's like an H. Like, why would that be pheasant? Anyways, so I believe it's peasant. But yeah, Tim Waltz says Trump is backed by billionaires while Kamala is backed by working people. Really? Kamala literally has billionaire Mark Cuban campaigning for her while Trump is winning union poll after union poll. Yeah, pretty much facts. But Trump is on the ground though. Like Trump literally has a more of an impact than Kamala Harris does. That's the thing. Trump has more of an impact while Kamala has the support from the people who held back their money from supporting Biden and put it right into Kamala. So that when she first hit the scene, it looked like she was getting all the support, but in all reality, it was people who sponsors who held back their finances and support money. So, yeah. Anywho, what do you guys think about all this? Okay, I think Tim Waltz is a complete nut job, to be quite frankly honest. I think that Tim Waltz is lost in the sauce. I really don't understand how he even got here. Like, I'm just amazed at how the Democrats can just allow the higher up Democrats to just play in their face. Hey, we're just gonna boot Biden and bring up Ku Klux Kamala, and then Tim Waltz, I choose you for VP. That's what she says, and then she brings Tim Waltz on. He's out here, instead of dissecting frogs, he's dissecting offspring, like human offspring. So it's just absolute nuts. All right, he's the real life Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and it's just diabolical. Bro is literally like straight out of Lazy Town. And he's campaigning with Ku Klux Kamala, heels behind her head Harris, and it's just a giant conundrum. And yeah. So I'm just going through the comments here. Yeah. Somebody said Waltz is a stand-up guy. Shady Vance is 100% weird and power hungry. Man, where we can't take 4 more years of this, Tim Waltz. Yeah, we can't take 4 more years of this Biden administration with Ku Klux Kamala. Bro, he's so nice. A real man with no hangups. Fresh breath of air. Well, I mean, if the breath of air is poison, then yeah. Fresh breath of disease, poison, toxicity. That's my thoughts on it. Comment down below what you guys think, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. How do you feel about this? What are your thoughts on this? All that kind of stuff. Comment down below. I just ask that you keep it respectful. As always, shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, and the King Squad Elites. You guys are the bomb.com, and don't let anybody tell you any different. Okay, you guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and thank you to everyone who left a positive comment and watched this video all the way through. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.